Good morning from the east coast of Arkansas. 1927 McCormick-Deering, model M, 1.5 horsepower. And look at here, I done already come up on something yonder that I ain't never seen before, and I'm going to show it to you. And then we're going to deal with that there O-ring that holds that cylinder up in yonder. And we're going to get that out of there. We're going to put the new O-ring in there. But I'll show you something right yonder. Y'all see that stuff right there? That's what we're going to deal with up close today. Ain't never seen that before. And we're going to get on with that. Oh, it's going to be interesting for sure. I actually was thinking that the baling wire was the distinguishing characteristic of this engine. I discovered something else, and it's a new one on me after rebuilding more than just 30-something, let's say. The odd part of this one, bring it to your attention, is this lead or babbitt. I'm going to say it's babbitt. Let's well, it files like babbitt. And what's happened, what someone has done, and if you remember, this was the cylinder that was in there when we first opened this up, and right in the top up there, right in this area here where that gap is in there for this oiler pipe stand up, that's the reason for that. And see, it won't go in there. This other cylinder, replacement cylinder, won't go in there. The reason is because when I removed this cylinder here, this is the one that I took out. And what someone, I know I'm going to take a little long to explain this, but it's well worth it. You will actually learn something, because you will, if you work on enough of these old engines, you'll come up on things like this right here, and you just deal with them and go on. But what somebody had done is they poured, I'm going to refer to it as babbitt. And they had filled this gap up here, was the first indication of something that was different on this engine, and they poured the material in this area, and that's where that bolt, in that area, and that area down there where the bolts are at, but it has nothing to do with the bolts. You know, you might think it would be to secure the cylinder, but there's no need to do that, because this replacement cylinder, when you put it up in there, it bottoms out perfectly. I've got it in there backwards just for a test fit, but it fits perfectly. So what I'm going to have to do now is to file away these two protrusions here so that the other cylinder will go in there, because when I took that other cylinder out, the only way I could get it, if you remember, we had to bust it out of there, and it pulled some of the cast iron metal away from the cylinder when I took it out, so I'll have to remove that. Let's get on with it. And we'll have to get past that. Some places it files pretty good, and then where that, I may have to bring out a power tool on it. Actually, I probably could bust it away with a chisel. Never missed the opportunity to use a chisel. And my way of thinking is, if this had been a backyard, somebody had did this at home, they probably would not have took the time to keep the drain plug open. Okay, it's coming out of there now. And I see no, even to this point, I see no reason for it being there. But it is chipping away. Huh. Well, just one of those wonderments that we encounter. So the baling wire is not the only unique. It's just busted all out of there. The baling wire is not the only unique characteristics of this engine. Oh, if these old engines could talk. I have in the past took these engines apart. It's according to what part of the country. You will get some engines from up in around up yonder in Illinois. I think it's where they have a lot of lime. I think it's where they have a lot of lime in the water. And you'll get some of that have a lime built up on them that is quite hard to remove also. Okay, let's try, let's see how close we're getting. Oh, this has to be cleaned now before we put that back in there. And there's no gasket goes here. It's just a tight fit. Oh yeah. Now we got to get that O-ring out and everything will be okay. Let's get that O-ring out there now. It's a wonderment. We'll never know the answer to the babbitt in the cylinder. We'll never know. And it may just have been, it's a possibility that it could have just been the overrun when someone filled up this gap thinking that gap should not have been there. It's possible that when they filled that up, it was just overrun that actually jailed up right there where it was at. The O-ring. Now, that O-ring, we're going to have to... Let's see, how can I... It's right back in yonder. And that O-ring, if on the cylinder here, it fits about halfway on that flat right there usually. The O-ring is right there. That's the O-ring. I'm going to go at it from the front there to see can we see it. Now there goes that eastbound coal train. Let's see if we can get that O-ring out of there. Y'all see that? Some of them will come out pretty easy, and then some of them you'll be tomorrow getting that O-ring out of there. Right there it is. We got that O-ring out of there. Well, that was an easy one right there. Very fortunate that we got that out. Okay, let's clean up that. Let's clean that groove up where that O-ring goes. The best thing I found out to do that with is a wire brush on an all thread. It's a 3/8 all thread with a wire brush there jammed up to it, and then what I do, it's on a drill, fixed to a drill. And you put this in yonder, and you put a piece of pipe on the end of that so you'll have some control over it. And then you just go around and clean that groove out. That O-ring groove needs to be the cleanest place on this engine at this point. Okay, let's look at it. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Yeah, we good to go there. Now I'll wire brush this front part right here.